Good morning. Morning, afternoon, night. Hello, you guys. I'm Valentina, and this is the Spotlight channel. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. So, today I wanted to talk about a topic that came up a couple of days ago, and it was so impactful to me that I thought I needed to share this. Because hopefully this will help somebody as well to look at themselves with more kindness and look at themselves or the situation that they're living through a broader perspective. And what I want to talk about today is about change in personality or change in behaviors that come as surprises that we're not used to behaving in a certain way. And to explain that a little bit better, I'll just give an example of my life. I was always the hyper independent person. I never clinged on to anybody too tight or any friendships. I waited a long time to start dating, and even when I was dating, most of the time the complaint was always that I was too independent, 2 years ago I was in a relationship and I came back to Brazil from the US, and the whole dynamic changed. Just recently I had the chance to experience in a gnarly way, in a frigging gnarly way, this whole codependency situation again. And in the midst of the whole thing, I just looked within and I questioned what had happened to me, because I used to not be this person. I used to not be the person that clinged to anything or anyone. I was always so independent and wanted my space, and my space was necessary, and everything just shifted. The whole dynamic shifted within me and within my relationships, and I became extremely codependent. And as I was looking within and trying to figure out what happened, I started to do a little bit of more in-depth research. Honestly, I'm so glad that I did this research, because I was just so hopeless about it. I was like, I guess I just became this type of person, and it's horrible. I feel horrible within myself, because it's not a good feeling to depend on somebody else, to be codependent, to need someone else's validation for approval and for safety. And in the research, I kind of came to the conclusion that it's not that I switched personalities and now I'm this and I'll always be this. It's more of situations in life and changes in my life that occurred to me have traced me down a path to where I became codependent. And I'll explain. 2 years ago, I moved back to Brazil from the US. I had been in the US since I was 15 on my own. And I was away from my family. I was always moving from state to state, city to city, house to house. And I had my back, So I had to grow up really fast, learn how to do a lot of things really quickly, really early in life, and kind of be my own support system for a lot of it. And I was used to that, and I was there for almost 10 years, so I already had my safety net. I had the group of people that were close friends or people that I knew that could help me out with a certain thing, and I knew where everything was, especially by the end, since I was in mostly one city for the last couple of years. I knew how I could get basic things like the banking system, jobs, relationships, grocery stores, camping sites. So everything was kind of boxed in and organized, like this is how I travel. This is what I have. This is how I do my hobbies. This is where I do my hobbies. This is where I can purchase things that I like. And this is where my friends are. We hang out every now and then to cook. Where I purchase my groceries. This is where I purchase anything, When I came back to Brazil, my sense of identity was just gone, because everything and everywhere to where I found security through and stability was gone. So all my closest friends were far away from me. All of the people that became my support system were far away from me. All of the places that I used to go to, all of the things that used to bring me stability and used to bring me daily organization, they were all gone, and everything was new. I was in a new city, in a system that I didn't like. I went from a small town to a huge city. I became really lonely. I didn't have a job. The work system was completely different, so it was difficult to find a job. Social life is completely different, so it was really difficult to readjust and make friends. And going back to living with my parents after living alone for almost 10 years and readjust to their routine, their way of relating to one another, everything was completely different. Hey. I think we have a friend now here. So I like that he just left my face here. So he's kind of like, yeah, I'll just stick around while you do this. And since everything changed, I, out of a survival mechanism, which is what our bodies are trained to do, is what our minds are trained to do. So it's nothing wrong with me and nothing wrong with you. It's what nature is meant for when we have no stability, when we lose our sense of security and identity, we cling on to the closest thing that seems safe. And so the closest thing to me that felt safe and that felt stable and that felt close to my identity that I've had for the past most of my life was this person, was this relationship, because they had been with me through the past 8 years of my life, 7 years of my life. And so they were alongside me through the whole time, through my whole construction of my personality and identity while I was there. And they were part of my routine. They were part of my social group. They were part of my life, everything. But they were a part of it. They weren't it. Because there, I had everything else going on for me. And when I came here, I didn't have anything else. So everything was stripped away from me. And I was starting from ground zero. And I only had that person. So that person kind of represented everything that I used to have. Without even consciously understanding and thinking about it, I clinged on to that person because it made me feel a sense of safety, a sense of stability, and it made me feel like my identity wasn't completely lost or threatened. It's interesting because after that started happening to me, regardless of if they had their own process and their own thing going on, this happening to me consequently made the dynamic of the relationship completely change. I've been acting on this for the past 2 years, and it was so difficult to let go, both of the relationship and also of the dynamic, because this dynamic, first of all, is addicting. And even if, because that's a whole nother topic that I'll talk another time about, it's a whole thing. So even if we strip away the whole addictive complement of this dynamic, we still have the whole part of the codependency, which is the loss of identity. And when we have the loss of identity, we cling on to the safest thing around us to keep our identity safe and stable somewhat. And so it was really hard, because even though I was thinking unconsciously that I was keeping myself safe and this was the best thing to do, I was actually completely making myself go farther and farther away from the identity that I used to have, because I used to be so hyper independent, and then to become hyper codependent completely wrecked my sense of self and my sense of confidence. I just noticed that, and it made me feel so grateful, first of all, to understand this dynamic and understand that I didn't just, something happened in my brain and I became codependent and shit, this is gonna be me in my life forever. No, this was a survival mechanism that happened to me, and I didn't realize it, and I didn't realize it was just that. It was just a mechanism trying to work for my best. Yeah, trying to work for my best. Knowledge is power. And this is why I make these videos. I really enjoy making them because it just perpetuates everything that I learn to myself, but also because the thing that saved me from many dark moments in life were knowledge, and knowledge coming from other people that have been through the same stuff, because then it makes you feel like you're not alone. And when you feel like you're not alone and other people go through this, it's so much easier to work on it and to accept it and move through it. When you decide that, oh, this is not just inherent to me, this is something that people go through and they can move out of, it makes it a lot easier to accept and start to work on it. So yeah, this was not such a information dense. It was more of a story to encourage people to look within, especially if they think that they had this dynamic going on within them, because I swear to God, I was going insane, thinking that this shift had happened inside me and I was never going to get out of this again, and longing to be the person that I used to be, to understanding that it's just a dynamic that was created out of a necessity and out of a need that I had within my soul to belong. I'm even kind of giddy about this because it gives me so much hope now to change and to act on it. So I'm really happy I came about this conclusion and this information, and I'm really happy to share this as well. And I really, really do hope that everybody that is going through the same finds this video or finds other information and content about this, because it was such a relief to understand this in a logical way, in a rational way. So yeah, you guys, this is all I had to say today. And it's so funny because this man came right in the middle of the video, and he's literally sitting right behind the camera, like, I don't know, maybe like 1 meter far from me, so he's listening to this whole thing and just enjoying the sun like I am, because it's freaking cold. And if he understands me, I hope he liked this too. But yeah, that's it. So yeah, I came to surf, but it's not looking good. So, and I'm actually kind of glad that this happened, because I was postponing making this video because I wanted it to be perfect, but what the hell, I rather just have it out than make it be perfect and never post it, you know? So yeah, there you go. That's all I had for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time. And if you have gone through this and you want to give any tips, please leave in the comments, because that's helpful as hell. Just let's help one another move out of these patterns and these little things that happen in life. And yeah, love you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, wonderful week, wonderful month, and I'll see you in the next video. So I'll see you soon. Bye.